Iran says it would rejoin nuclear deal within an hour of U.S. doing so.
Here's a summary of the article.
Iran would return to compliance with the nuclear deal within an hour of the U.S. doing so, its president said, but he faced further pressure from the outgoing Trump administration after it sanctioned 2 Iranian officials over their alleged involvement in the abduction of a former FBI agent. The commission would be the first chance for Iran and the European signatories to the deal, France, Germany and the UK, to discuss a route back into the deal for the US under a new administration led by Joe Biden. Iran came under fresh pressure on Monday when the U.S. for the first time blamed it for the presumed death of the retired FBI agent Robert Levinson, who disappeared on Iran's Kish Island in 2007. Senior Iranian officials authorized Levinson's abduction and detention and launched a disinformation campaign to deflect blame from the regime, the U.S. Secretary of State, Mike Pompeo, said in a statement as the U.S. announced sanctions on 2 Iranian intelligence officers believed responsible for Levinson's abduction. The EU and US criticism of Iran's human rights record raises questions of how large an obstacle the issue might become in shaping a rapprochement between Iran and the West. So far Biden has said he wants at first to focus on the narrow issue of lifting sanctions, and the US rejoining the deal in return for Iran fully complying with its obligations to restrain its nuclear program. The president also attacked his internal critics, saying some wanted to keep US sanctions on Iran going for another 5 years. Iran regarded Zam not as a journalist, but as an agitator for street protests in 2017.
This post received a score of 52,000, with an upvote ratio of 89%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
I remember when people were putting World War III memes about going to war with Iran earlier this year.
Holy shit. Was that really this year too?
That was like January 1st or 2 if I remember correctly.
Fuck, I remember that day better than fucking yesterday.
Imagine 2020 if WW3 really did start. 2020 would have been one hell of a parallel of the early 20th century. Halifax explosion to Beirut 1918 pandemic to COVID-19 WW3 to WW1.
Our simulation scriptwriters are being too lazy. At least Season 2 had some mad characters. For Season 3, Orange Man.
What was the reasoning behind leaving the nuclear deal? If I remember right, the deal was something along the lines of, Iran can't build nukes, and other countries can inspect all of your nuclear power plants and processing facilities that enrich uranium to make sure you aren't building nukes. Countries will lift sanctions on Iran so they can have better trade relations and make more money. Was that the gist of it? Was it just Trump being an ass and pulling us out, or was there actual benefit to the US in leaving?
Obama made the deal and therefore the deal had to go. It's pretty much the reason for anything Trump does.
Nah, Israel was against the deal even during Obama. With Trump, Netanyahu got direct access to POTUS via Kushner.
Well fuck, Tom Cotton, US Senator, will be writing another letter to the Iranian leadership begging them to not participate. Tom Cotton picked apart by Army General over mutinous Iran letter. That guy looks like a huge douchebag. That sack of shit is my U.S. Senator, Arkansas, and he is an embarrassment. As an Iraq War veteran himself, he has opposed legislation allowing for the payment of medical fees incurred by veterans maimed in combat who are trying to start a family. These vets suffered damage to their genitalia and need assistance through in vitro fertilization. Cotton opposes in vitro procedures on the same grounds he opposes abortion. He's an embarrassment to all vets such as myself.
Greater than legislation allowing for the payment of medical fees incurred by veterans maimed in combat. Hole up, are you saying your country is charging people who got maimed in combat for treatment?
Not to be rude, but we are talking about the United States here. We have to pay for damn near everything, and if you also have to pay for it in your country, we likely pay more for some arbitrary reason.
If anyone's been to Iran, you'll see how desperate a lot of Iranians want to be allies, liked by the West. They see themselves as almost natural allies to the West. The ruling theocracy not so much. Playing nice with Iran weakens the religious extremists as they have no common enemy to mobilize the population against. Edit. This is just from my experiences traveling in the country and talking to locals. Other people may have had different experiences.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.